Spider-Man, the most well-known superhero ever. We can argue Superman and Batman, but for me, it's Spider-Man. And I just want to talk about the performances and the Spider-Mans. Tom Holland, of course, Tobey Maguire, and what is this other guy's name? Andrew something? I forget the guy's name. What? Andrew Garfield? Yeah. Well, I liked all three. I'm a Spider-Man fan. I loved all three of them. The Tom Holland, this is the first time we realized Peter Parker was a 15-year-old kid and Aunt May was a hot grandmother. Because we never saw it. We knew he was in high school. We knew he was young, but we just never quite delved into, he's really a kid. And this is the first Spider-Man we actually saw that, yes. I mean, he was fun, naive, clueless, clumsy, that freshman, sophomore type year guy, kind of guy, sensitive, and he was comical, and he was more entertaining than the other two. And it's almost like he studied both of the former character, the Garfield and the Tobey Maguire character. But I like this Spider-Man, but it was a little too updated for me. I kind of did a rant on one of these, if you go to my rant page, about how things have evolved in the Marvel universe. But it was kind of too quick for me. They didn't give him enough to grow on. I mean, he had all these gadgets too soon. But I get it. The times have changed. And, these gadgets Iron Man gave him. I just kind of wanted to lead him up a little. But, it was relevant for the time and the culture. The changing characters, it didn't work for me. The Mary Jane not having the red hair and all the different friends. But I did enjoy it. And it tied into all the other, the adventure movies. So I did like that. Andrew Garfield. Now, this was Amazing Spider-Man. And I'm a Spider-Man fan, so I'm going to be kind of hard on him. Just the actor, I mean, he seemed dark, the way he played Peter Parker, secluded, and then he was kind of rude, kind of a jerk. He seemed to be a loner, kind of arrogant, and then had that sarcastic sense of humor. Trying that get back sense of humor. And then they made him kind of romantic with Gwen Stacy. Come on, that's not Peter Parker. It's not the Peter Parker of the comics at all. Hey, this guy wore a dark military type jacket with a hood and mittens with his fingers coming out and a skateboard, and he always walked with his head down, sulking. Whenever he was Peter Parker, he had his good points, but he seemed more depressed as Peter Parker than stressed out about school and things going on and Aunt May and the Electro character. He was didn't do it for me. No knock on Jamie Foxx, but then they showed that mechanical rhino. Although the lizard wasn't bad, but I did like the whole Gwen Stacy story, and even her death was as realistic to the comic as you can get on that one. I love that part. It was well played out as, her tragic death, Spider-Man not knowing if she died from the fall and him spinning that web down, saving her from her fall and breaking her back, and she dies instantly. Was that his fault, or was she die? Could he have done something there? That was good. I like that. That part played out. But my all-time favorite is Tobey Maguire and the Spider-Man of the 2002s and the 2000 eras. When he first came out, he was, that's the Peter Parker that was witty and fun and nerdy. And we'd never seen Spider-Man in real life like this in a motion picture. He had the expressions of a Peter Parker. He was just real. He had no game when he was trying to talk to any female, he's like, he was a nerd, soft, when he was Spidey, he had more room to grow, he didn't come out just like, I'm Spider-Man, I'm kicking butt, and they played it real well, that great Green Goblin, even his first, when he was training, falling off the roof. You know, the only thing I didn't like is he had those web shooters automatically coming out of his wrists. I mean, that threw me. I was just like, no. You know, and he was a scientist, so hey, a 15-year-old scientist, go figure. So I get it. But it was funny. I like, you know, he's trying to wait for the bus and his hand sticking to the bus and to the, you know, posters and whatnot. And Mary Jane was classic. Kirsten Dunst, I believe, excellent. Her whole go get 'em tiger, and the fight with Flash, you know, was surreal. But yeah, I loved it. Even loved the sequel even better. That was the best one to me. You know, that train scene and him stopping that locomotive and being stretched with the webs, and the people standing up for him and saying, oh, he's just a kid. And they honored him and gave him his mask. And, you know, there Doc Ock comes on. You got to go through us. And that was classic. Dr. Octopus just used his tentacles and just like, boom, get out of the way then. I love that part. And, you know, the kidnapping of Mary Jane and Harry wanting revenge and his memory loss. And that was good writing. I love that. Then comes the third one with Venom. And I just thought Venom is one of my favorite Spider-Man villains. And he shouldn't have had to share the spotlight with Sandman of all people. I mean, because Venom was kind of buried. You know, then they make it Sandman is a killer of, you know, of Ben's, of Uncle Ben. And, you know, it was just kind of like a teenage 2000s movie trying to be dark and yet still a comic Spider-Man. I didn't like it at all. And the whole black Spider-Man suit, and he's in a club being gothic, and then you bring Gwen Stacy in. It's just, stuff was all over the place. It's like they just jumbled up a whole bunch of stuff and said, we got to get this done. Let's do it. And then just threw it out there. But I do like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans. I'll take those over the other two. But I'm going to go and see this next Spider-Man. I'm not really too jazzed about it. I've been disappointed in these Spider-Man, you know, the new ones that came out. But I'll go with the Tobey Maguire if I could choose the three. Leave me a comment in the comment section. Let me know what your favorite Spider-Man is and the favorite actor that portrayed him. This is Waters Rant.